Episode 7. Octagon. Chapter 32. 33 AD, Jerusalem. The vile city was unusually quiet, numb like a lizard in the bitter chill of the morning after a heavy night's rain. But the prefect knew better. For the past few days, the different rumors and idle speculation had left the city as mercurial as a wild beast ready to pounce. The warm spring air had only made things worse, coaxing people out onto the streets and squares and fueling the old flames. There was one rumor in particular that Prefect Pontius Pilate hated more than all the lies and diplomatic intrigue of the Sanhedrin. For weeks now, the city had been filled with pilgrims from all over the country, here for the feast of the Passover, which only made things worse and increased the tension in the air. The prefect no longer expected any support from the Sanhedrin's high priests of the temple. He knew that they continually complained about him to Caesar and did their best to discredit him. His secret police had told him they were also doing all they could to support the zealots and any hint of popular belief in an imminent Messiah, all in order to weaken Roman power. In the belief that the Passover would bring riots, or at the very least attacks carried out by the zealots, the prefect had temporarily moved his seat of office out of the superb citadel by the Jaffa Gate and into the Praetorium, a well-defended fortress built by King Herod on the north side of the temple, where the two cohorts in the Syrian cavalry were also stationed. Now the prefect was standing on the fortress's upper terrace, wrapped in a woolen cloak. It had been yet another sleepless night, in which he lay at the mercy of the fierce headaches that tormented him like wild beasts. The prefect's eyes were red as he gazed out over the Kidron Valley to the east, where a century battalion had the previous night arrested some Galilean rabbi. The prefect's informers had been telling him for days now about this man who condemned the priests of the temple and made crazy speeches. Not that there was anything particularly out of the ordinary in that. This country turned out all sorts of fantasists, oddballs, and make-it-up merchants. This one had only been in the city a week, but the prefect's police had already reported him preaching on the Mount of Olives, and said that many people were already considering him to be the Jews' long-awaited Messiah. That was the rumor he hated the most. But it had given the prefect an idea of how he might puncture the bubble of anger he felt building up all around him. He would make an example of the man. Jerusalem wanted blood? Then this vile city could have it. The sun was rising behind the last few rain clouds. To the prefect, it looked like a greasy balloon of pain and putrefaction that was going to drive him mad again for another day. He could see the gorse bushes down in the valley and thought he caught the scent of roses and jasmine. A swallow flitted by
Sample complete. Ready to continue?